Hello everybody and welcome to Letterboxd Book Club. I'm Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today, first off the bat, we will be talking about a particular TikTok that has been making the rounds on BookTok. Should we play it?
I don't know. I don't have it on me.
I have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, a creator just made a pretentious elitist comment and it's been spiraling on the BookTok. And Kenzie got really riled up, so she really wants to talk about it.
I want to talk about how reading is sexy.
Yeah, as per the title of this episode, reading is sexy.
Let me find it.
I'll give Kenzie a chance to scour the tickety-tock to find it. And today we're having a little cheeky drink because why the fuck not? It's a Friday afternoon. It's depressingly miserable, raining outside. So apologies if you may hear a bit of a pour down. What a fun afternoon.
You have to find it because she's posted somewhere.
Oh no. And also apologies if you're
I found it.
eating because we're snacking.
We're also eating donuts.
The thing about Book Talk is that you will read a book that they recommend. So good. So great. The relationship. Enemies to lovers. You read it. And you're like, wow, you refuse to read classic literature. Not a question. It's a statement. I can tell.
Let's break this down before I break down.
So yeah, I just quickly want to say what I want to say because Kenzie has a full-on verbal thesis on this. I swear to God. She's like, I've written a page. A page might not seem like a lot, but it is a lot.
I've written a page and a half.
Page and a half. Oh, I don't know. It depends on I don't know. It's still a lot. I just think it's a very pretentious, elitist type of frame of mind, and assuming at one point she would have expected everyone to have read at least a classical literature book. I mean, I've read classic literature. I've read Hunger Games. You know, I've read the first Twilight book. But then that's assuming growing up in your life you would be in say a school system that had access and resources to those particular books and or funding and or even having an English lit class, because I feel like those books predominantly come up in a specifically English literature class, which I know I didn't have in high school, specific literature class.
I had English lit.
Yeah.
I think we covered classics like Shakespeare.
Yeah. I was going to say define a classic.
Yeah, I don't even know. Okay, I would say Pride and Prejudice or anything Shakespeare, Wuthering Heights, anything by
all
Bronte.
I read was Macbeth, and that was just in normal English class.
Yeah, exactly. I did Macbeth as well, but even in English lit, I feel like we covered modern books.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just going to say, and even if you have read it throughout school, it was more to learning about narrative analysis and using metaphors and eulogies and all that type of stuff. It's not for the actual content of the book and how awesome or terrific the writing is or whatever. And also just in general, all those old books are deeply rooted in racism and misogyny and all that type of stuff, and I'm just touching surface level of what Kenzie's gonna dig in because she's gonna really go off. But and then as an adult, to not have read a classic literature at this, I'm saying a classic literature, classic literature books and stuff. At the end of the day, people vibe with what genres and books they want to vibe with. Reading is sexy. You read what you want to read. If people have joy when they read a 60-page smut book, then good on them, If people want a real dragged out, series or whatever, and they think it's terrific, good on them. Who cares? It's just such a pretentious comment. And what do you get out of reading classic literature as an adult now? What's the point?
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
the point?
Yeah.
All right, Kenzie, I've opened the cage door. Okay. Out you go.
Well, I want to touch on as well that this creator, and I'm not even going to say their name because I don't want to bring any more attention to their page. Anyway, so if you find it, you find it. If not, don't worry about it. But
it's probably long gone by the time this is uploaded.
Yeah, I'd also like to say that once they voiced their opinion and they got the wrath of BookTok on them, they decided I'm also going to refer to them as they because I don't want to assume their pronouns.
Fair enough.
But anyway, so then they doubled down on it and it was a joke, and sorry that you guys don't get a joke, and then saying that she has read some modern books, I guess, but like they just weren't enjoyable. That they have, sorry, I did it. I assumed their gender anyway. But yeah, like Claire was saying, classic literature is very much rooted in sexism, misogyny, and racism. So let's not go there. Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, enemies to lovers.
Yes.
Pride and Prejudice, enemies to lovers. Dare I say it? And that's all the classic lit I've read because I'm a piece of shit apparently, but that's all right. And then in another TikTok response, they refer to BookTok books, popular BookTok books that have become popular as reading as fan fiction.
Which is weird.
But then are they then suggesting that fan fiction is bad?
Yeah.
So
I know we have our qualms with fanfiction.
some,
So we
yeah,
spoke
some
about it
fan
before.
fiction, I think
but,
there
like,
is a lot to be said in that I don't think everyone should be able to just jump online and write a book.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, or like jump online and say, I really like Harry Potter, here's this fan fiction about
Harry and Hermione. or
Harry and
something.
Hermione, yeah. And I know there is a lot of great Harry Potter fan fiction
Yeah.
out there. Let's not touch on Cursed Child because that's a whole different ballgame. But yeah, if they think fan fictions are bad, I'd just like to go over some statistics of fan fiction,
Jesus Christ.
if you'd like.
She's gone into the stats.
This is just, so the first two are movies and then the other one's books. So 50 Shades of Grey, everyone shits on it.
Classic example.
Classic example. $569.7 million worldwide in revenue on a $50 million budget. So they made money. After, which is Harry Styles fan fiction.
I know, but that's gone on for 500 movies too
There's
long.
5 movies. Yeah, exactly. The first film, $69.5 million worldwide on a $14 million budget. And let's talk about our favourite fanfiction, The Love Hypothesis. Sold 750,000 copies worldwide, and I think the film rights have been sold.
Ooh, I think maybe we did touch on that in our Love Hypothesis potty. If you haven't checked that out and you've read it, please check it out.
Yeah. Also, without BookTok, I wouldn't have gotten back into reading.
For sure.
I wouldn't have found all these books that I love now
Yeah.
and that I recommend to everyone. We wouldn't have started this podcast.
Yeah, thanks, Book Talk.
Yeah, if I had stayed in my dusty library reading classic literature, I wouldn't have friends.
Yeah, and I think it's just like the cycle of like with Book Talk as well. They're like, oh well, if you like Akatar, you're gonna like From Blood and Ash, and then you go, you read that, you like it. It's like, oh okay, and then it's like someone else will say, oh, if you like From Blood and Ash, you like this book. It's like just like a cycle that's like leading you forward.
Yeah.
Like they're not necessarily dictating what you read, but
Yeah.
like they're finding good examples about a niche genre that you like, and you know that's how you spread your wings over, you know, the type of books that
Yeah.
you want to read and what you find.
Yeah.
Like I'm too lazy to research books that fit my niche
Exactly,
genre.
yeah, and like I could make a Goodreads profile and do
sure,
that, and
yeah,
everything.
for
But you
sure.
know what? When someone's out there telling me what to read, and they're like, if you loved this book, then you're going to love this book. You know what? I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah, and then if you end up enjoying it, then you trust that person, then you listen to other sort of recommendations, and then, you know, in turn, when your friends are coming to you, you know, 5 years down the line, be like, oh, I want to read again, what do you recommend? And then you start, you know, balling these book ideas and stuff, and yeah, it's just a cycle of just sharing.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to gatekeep.
Yeah. We do need to girl boss and gaslight though.
Girl boss, gaslight, not gatekeep books though. No.
I also want to touch on their faux pretentiousness and the holier than thou attitude it's not a question, it's a statement that you don't read classic literature. It just reminds me of when everyone used to shit on the girlies for loving Twilight.
Or just girls loving anything.
Girls
in general.
loving anything, yeah, like anything that's romantic.
Yeah.
But Twilight's getting a renaissance at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I've
Yeah.
seen like TikToks of like, it's like they're at the cinema, but they play like all the movies, and everyone's like laughing and just joking and like carrying on, and it's
They're
great.
having marathons, yeah.
Yeah.
And also Midnight Sun came out, and
Yeah, for
that
sure.
sold heaps of copies. And also, will all of these books not be considered classic literature in 200 years?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like who decided what is a classic?
Yeah, is literature not an ever evolving and growing idea? Like,
Exactly. And I've just thought about this as well. Like, you know how they say about like war and stuff, like the winners write the history books. I feel like in this sense, white people dictate classic literature. Mm-hmm. And like,
That's why the Bible's been around for so long.
I know. Oh, let's not go there.
That's classic literature.
Yeah, it's fan fiction.
And then one of my final points is just reading is so hot. Reading is so sexy. I don't care what you're reading. When we were like in the what are they called? In the trenches, reading lots and lots of books. I had a friend who started reading because he was like inspired by my reading, and he read 3 books in a week, and he's just like, what have you done to me? And I was like, I'm so attracted to you right now in this moment. Like,
I get that.
yeah, like reading is hard. I get what you read. If someone comes up to me and says, I read, I don't know, Clifford the Big Red Dog, I'd be like, yes, so hot, good on you for reading. Like, I don't care what you read, reading is hot.
Yeah. Reading is just as up there as like any sort of like media format, like movies, TV shows,
Yeah.
etc. Because like the same kind of pretentiousness can be then drawn out to people who are like, oh, you haven't seen Star Wars? Oh, you
Yeah.
haven't seen this and that. And it's like, don't gatekeep. There's so much of it out there. It's easy to like get lost and just ignore the hype for the moment. Same with like Game of Thrones. People get really like annoyed if you like haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but have you watched Game of Thrones?
I have bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been trying to watch House of the Dragon. My cousin, every time I see him, he like, have you watched this week's episode yet? And I'm like, I'm scared to tell him no. 'Cause he's like, why? Go on. I'm so busy.
Yeah.
And I see it all on like Twitter and TikTok anyway.
Being busy is not a personality trait.
I curate my lifestyle, all right? I'm busy because I want to be busy.
Yeah.
Not because don't control. I hate that sentiment.
Yeah.
I curated my life. All right, is that all you wanted to say?
That's all I had. That's my little...
Good 12-minute rant.
That's okay, we can... Yep. I'm happy with that.
But nah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... And the backpedaling, I guess.
Yeah, if you're going to make a statement and the internet comes for you, stand by it. Like, unless... No, because if you put it on the internet, it's on the internet forever. So if you're going to do something that drastic, you have to stand by it. Like, no matter what you do, any backpedaling is not going to work in your favor the way you want it
Maybe
to.
it's more about just like I don't know how many videos I guess they've posted afterwards, but it's just the reinforcing the point
Yeah.
to the point where like they can't handle
Yeah.
it anymore, and then they start to backpedal.
Yeah, and it's always like the first thing, oh, it was a joke.
yeah,
Then preface it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just silly. Like, read whatever you want,
Yeah.
however you want. It may take you like 8 months to read one book. Who cares? Like, yeah, it's such a subjective thing, and it's like it's completely up to the person. I hate, just that idea of oh, you haven't read this or you haven't done that. I've read Hunger Games, like that's up there. That'll be classic literature in years to come. I
read
suppose.
the Hunger Games, yeah. I read Hunger Games late. I read Harry Potter.
You know what? Yeah, let's turn this into a bit of a fun. Like, what would you, in 200 years' time, what would you want to be like? Maybe a top 5 books that kind of reflects our time.
Court of Thorns and Roses.
Okay. Harry Potter has to be up there, the series.
I don't think it will survive because of J.K. Rowling.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think fanfic, I think all the young dudes manacled Dead of Time.
What's manacled? Like, I've been seeing it on...
It's a fanfic. So all the young dudes, Manacled and Dead of Time are like the 3 big Harry Potter fanfictions.
Oh, I didn't know that, because I've been seeing, like, manacled and all that, and I'm like, well, what's it come from? I thought it was just a random, just like a book.
It's fanfiction.
So, who's the fanfiction?
Hermione and Draco.
Of course it is.
And
Okay.
then Dead of Time is Hermione and Sirius.
Yeah. Ooh, what?
Because she goes back in time.
I don't think I vibe with that.
But like, they're all teenagers.
Or even serious.
Like Sirius is, it's like Sirius and Remus and stuff at school. Yeah.
Oh, like the whole Marauder vibe. I have this whole thing about like the Marauder vibe.
Yeah.
I don't go with that.
Yeah.
But interesting.
Yeah. What else?
I think maybe even with the whole J.K. Rowling thing, like I guess Harry Potter fanfiction has like re-emerged as well out of spite
Yeah.
because of the whole transphobic
Yeah.
comments and all that type of stuff, and a
Yeah.
failed book release
Yes.
under a pseudonym.
I'll write it under a pseudonym. You'll see what I can do to him.
Love Hamilton.
I love Hamilton.
Yeah.
What else? Right now, reminiscent of this time. Oh, probably. I don't know if Turtles All the Way Down gained enough traction.
Ooh, that's
John Green.
Yeah, I think I started reading it. I don't think I finished it. Oops.
Same.
Sorry.
I'm a very different person now to what I was when I was
Yes,
reading
yes.
John Green
Me
to begin
too.
with. And I've now realised the error in my ways of
Yes.
believing that I should be a Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yes.
I
no.
do believe that Turtles All the Way Down is a very different vibe and it's about
Yeah.
neurodivergent identifying people.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know the PC term. Anyway, but yeah, maybe one day I'll get around to it again.
Maybe.
But yeah.
But we are going to be reading a John Green book and book coming up
Yes.
for Christmas.
Yes.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was going to be a bit longer than this. Like a dinky 15-minute.
What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Oh, I'll list kind of like what I think.
Yeah.
Classic literature. Like we could be completely wrong. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, because I've lost so many years of life, not reading. Like, I only kind of remember what I recommend, what I've read like back in high school,
Yeah.
and then like now what I've read for like the potty and like surrounding book talk and stuff. So, I would say Hunger Games would be up there, just like defying like government stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good theme, heavy theme.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about classic lit. Let's
Okay.
talk about Pride and Prejudice, just because I don't want to read.
I've never read it, and I don't think I've watched any movie about it.
That's
so
right, it goes for a fucking long
I
time.
know it's like a 3-hour movie, isn't
Yep.
it?
There's a couple, and there's a TV
I
series.
know everyone froths
There's
over
also
Keira
Pride
Knightley.
and Prejudice and Zombies.
I've seen
Yeah.
bits and pieces of that one. I think I've watched like half of it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, but yeah, as we're saying, like a lot of classic literature, like is deep rooted in misogyny, as in like, oh, woe is me, I'm a woman and I need to find
I
a
can't
husband.
read or write, I
I
can't
can't read or
vote."
write, but I am poor and I need to find a husband. And like Pride and Prejudice kind of turns it on its head a little bit in
Yeah.
that she's like, well, I'm not really
It's
out
an
there
oddly
looking
progressive, like
progressive,
progressive.
feminist.
Yeah.
But you know what? In the end, she ends up marrying the rich guy because
So,
she's
like,
poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and like he's hot, but
People think it's hot. Sure.
yeah, he's so hot.
I think would Little Women be classed as classic lit, or is that just like
Yes, to a degree, I guess.
I don't know. I guess because yeah, again, it's about that same type of like period-ish theme of poor women finding rich husbands, and then one defying because she's not like other girls.
I know.
Stan Saoirse Ronan.
I would have married Timothée Chalamet.
You look like Saoirse Ronan. Though.
I know. I've been told that a lot.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah.
But I used to get told it when she was in Lovely Bones. So people are
I
like,
didn't even know that.
oh, it's about a teenager getting sexually assaulted and murdered by a man.
Oh, fun.
And he does it to a lot of children.
Oh no.
So it was when that came out and her name is Susie Salmon.
Okay.
And people were like, oh, you look like the salmon girl. And I was like, oh,
Oh no.
fun.
Salmon girl. Thinking of like a fish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what other classic lit out there stuff? Like I think we read Macbeth in like year
I did
11,
Macbeth
year 12.
from year 10 to year 12.
Like, why do you need to read it for 2 years?
Because I did it in English, I
Okay.
did it in lit, and I did it in drama.
Jesus. Oh wow. Jesus Christ, the trifecta.
I know everything there is to know about Macbeth.
I remember. I think we had read it and then we watched one of the movies. I don't know if there's multiple movies,
So,
but a friend was sitting next to you. We know her. Because there was a scene where like they're
is
hiding
this
behind.
how I'm a really good friend at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a scene, I think they're hiding behind bushes, and then she made a comment like they're really branching out, and like everyone cracked themselves laughing. It was hilarious. Even the teacher, who's a pretty hard, stern teacher, she
Yeah.
like cracked it. She loved it.
There's an Australian version because because there's like a comment like, oh, Macbeth like won't die until pigs fly or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, so in the Australian version there's two police officers and they like, I think it's either they get thrown like over somewhere or like they get in a plane and so it's like pigs are flying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The metaphor.
Yeah, and it's like they're in a restaurant and like Macbeth and Macduff and whatever their names are.
I don't know.
I know everything about Macbeth. They're chefs in a restaurant.
Okay. Oh, so it's just a weird like retelling of Macbeth, but with like the character names.
Adaptation, yeah.
Adaptation. Yeah. Wow, that is such a unique movie by the sounds of it.
There's also Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Masterpiece. Which is like kind of like an adaptation, but they're also still speaking in like ye old English. So
Yeah.
it's hard to keep up. But
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, you gotta read it in, like, the ye old English times, and you gotta, like, understand. It's almost like a different language in itself.
yeah.
And it's just, like, a lot of them sounds like they're boring
Yeah.
as well. From
Also-
what I've gathered on
Yeah.
the responses to these.
We
to
also
this video.
did Othello.
Othello, yeah.
And there's a movie on that as well.
I know for a school production, it's like Midsummer or something.
Room.
Yeah, that, we did that.
Classic.
Classic lit. Though, yeah, in the ensemble, I didn't really like read the script that well. You know, I don't think everyone got a script. Only like whoever had speaking parts. But yeah, like, so I don't even know like what's the go.
I was in a school play in year 11 and I was cast as like a principal cast member
Oh, okay, yeah.
and I had 4 lines.
Oh wow.
And I was like, thanks.
I'd rather
be in the
tree in the
ensemble,
background.
yeah.
or a dancing tree.
Like, don't call me and a principal cast member if you're giving me 4 lines.
but
Just
were
call
they
me
important
ensemble.
lines? No, just irrelevant.
No. It's like a whole scene.
Oh, okay, I was just gonna say, was it like one line here, one line there? But yeah, just
No, it
one-
was a whole scene.
It was a monologue for you.
It was. I still remember them, but yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
Um,
What play was this from?
The Irresistible Rise of Arturo Ui.
What?
It's based on Hitler and him
Jesus
killing.
Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, give it to us.
A bit of a yeah. It was something about like so, and then they changed it to like being in New York and like it's about the vegetable trade.
Who is picking your drama performances or theatre performances?
This is an actual play. Like it's
Oh my
been off
God.
Broadway.
Jesus.
Anyway, and there was something like so like I'm a lawyer and I have like a firm partner and we're going to go and speak to like this guy about whatever's going on and I'm saying to him like you need to like uprise or whatever and like we'll support you. I'm all like my partner and I like will like do whatever we have to do or whatever. They're like thou shalt that Dog's Bar is more than a name. He's more than a man. He's an institution or something. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
You had an accent and all.
Yeah, I was meant to be from Brooklyn, and so that was really shit, probably. Yeah. And I had to do like voice lessons, like
a voice coach?
dialect lessons.
Wow,
yeah.
we got an actor in our midst.
Actor. They made you do it because everyone's
part of the experience.
Yeah, everyone's accents were different.
Yeah, it's hard to get consistency, especially.
It's
in,
hard to
like,
get
high school.
consistent Brooklyn accent.
Oh, good, yeah. But that's got the full on experience though,
I did,
like
yeah.
vocal coach, accent coach, dialects.
Yeah, I had to sing in my audition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What'd you
I had to
sing?
fully audition. I sang what's the song? Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill.
I'm yours.
Yeah, that
By
one.
Steve
Yeah.
Mraz, yeah.
Yeah, but I did there's a girl version. Who does it? Caitlin Stacey. She was in
Oh,
Rain.
the Australian.
And yeah, and Tomorrow When the War Began.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Tomorrow When the War Began.
Yeah.
Classic lit.
Yeah,
for
classic
Australia.
lit.
For Australia.
And I've read all of them, and they were brilliant. But they're also very deeply rooted in racism.
Yeah, for sure. For
and
sure.
misogyny.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's been a hot minute since I've thought about Tomorrow When the War Began. Sometimes, like, when I was, like, living just really by myself, like, I'd want to watch a movie, I'd be like, Tomorrow When the War Began. I don't know, something about it.
They made a series.
Yeah,
it was
the TV
meant to
series.
be all the movies.
Yeah, and
but
some
yeah.
of them were filmed near us.
Yeah.
Not trying to reveal our location. We don't want to dox ourselves.
What was I going to say today? I was going to say something on the podcast, and I was like, I can't say that because I'm going to dox myself.
But yeah, Tomorrow When the War Began. Like, all right, let's talk about Australia. To be
Australian.
fair, I don't know much about like Australian classic literature, but like,
Tomorrow When the War Began. Jasper Jones, the dressmaker.
oh, the dressmaker, yeah, for sure. Oh, we're gonna be talking about that on the potty just
Yeah.
for shits and gigs, because like, my mum loved that movie. We watched it like a million times.
Yeah.
And just Kate Winslet's accent, Australian accent, is fucking chef's kiss.
We
Love it.
did the book
Yeah.
in year 12, I think, in my classic literature class. So suck on those gonads. And then the movie came out the year after or something.
Did you guys go like as a group to go see the movie?
No, because the school was over and none of us were friends anymore.
Oh, because I remember with Tomorrow When the War Began, the year we were learning about it, because you know in English you have like a topic. Like I think our topic was like
Yeah.
conflict or war or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
So we had to read the book, and then it came out when we were reading, and we all walked down to the cinema together and we watched it.
cool.
It was a fun
We
experience.
also did Into the Woods in year
Ooh,
12.
I
And then we went
love
and
the
saw
movie.
after the year after when it came out, we did as a group go and see the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I love the Into the Woods movie. I don't know, just something about it. I know James Corden is topical discussion these days, but like I don't know, I really liked that musical.
The actual like stage musical is also pretty
Oh,
brilliant.
yeah, cool.
But it goes for so long.
Once you think it's about to end, it's just like
Yeah, when
the
everyone's
start of the
happy,
coin.
they're like,
yeah,
well, actually.
yeah. But I love that type of twist of it though.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something important about like the Tomorrow When the War Began TV series? I heard it was shit though.
I tried to watch it and they changed.
So much.
So
Even
much.
in the main movie, they changed a significant detail.
What did they change?
There was this hermit guy who
Oh, yeah,
lived
the
in
hermit
hell,
guy, yeah.
and like there was nothing of it, and I think it becomes significant. I think I read like up to book maybe 3.
I remember it was like a really, because I've read all of them.
Oh no,
it was a
hermit
really-
huts, not a
Yeah,
hermit.
Hermit Hut, that's right, yeah. Oh yeah, and then they found anyway. I remember it was like a really big thing when it came out because when they go back into town, into Wirrawee, and they find Chris, and he's just like high as fuck.
Let's
And
do
then-
Tomorrow the World Began on the potty.
Yes. And then
Coming next year.
Yeah, she was saying like, oh, we're fighting for our lives and you're up here having a fucking vacation or whatever. I remember that was like such a huge thing, 'cause it was like, oh my god, she swore, and in the book she doesn't swear. And it's
Yeah.
like, but that just hits home.
It
like,
does, yeah. Chris is a fuckwit.
Yeah. He dies in the book.
Oh, good. Finally.
Yeah. So does Corey.
She dies in this. Yeah, she gets
shot.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to talk about this now.
Okay,
I don't know,
we
in
can
the
read it
potty-
and do it.
In the potty, yeah. But yeah, Corey dies. Rip. Yeah, and I don't know. I forget what book I got up to. Maybe up to 3, but it was like I don't
It gets
know.
a little bit weird and then it comes back.
Yeah.
And then,
I think,
like, in
where
the
do you
end-
go?
Yeah, in the end it's like kind of resolved but not resolved in that they just agree to share their lands.
Yeah. And it was quite a significant kind of book because there was no enemy was properly described or
Described, yeah.
explained, and that's what made the book series so good because it could be anyone.
It could be any
Except in the movie they depicted as like Asian,
Asian, yeah.
which is but like I don't know, it's like flip a coin.
Yeah.
Like how are we gonna depict them? But I'm so keen for Tomorrow the World Again now. Far out. I think for another classic lit in terms of Australia, I think Cloud Street by Tim Winton. Yeah, I remember reading that in year 12. I just hated how, because there was no like quote marks and stuff for like dialogue. And
Oh, that's
everything.
annoying.
And like it was really, I think it must have been for a reason, but there was like hardly any good grammar. But like I think that was the point, and it was just such a big thick boy book as well. It took so long to read. And then there was like a 6-part miniseries as well on Foxtel.
Oh, that's cool.
So like if you ever want to watch it,
We also did classic lit. We did Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
I don't know that one. No.
Very confusing. It's a play.
Oh, of course. It's funny how most of these classic lits are from plays or plays turned into books or whatever. So is that not like already diluting?
Yeah, because that's how
Its
they
essence.
shared intellectual property.
Oh,
like as
okay.
plays, I would imagine, because no one could read.
Yeah, of course. they can watch.
Yeah, and that's how the Bible was written. It was based on like the word of
The people.
Jesus's. Well, the ones that I studied in particular, because I went to religious school, was the Gospel of John, and the Gospel of John is a retelling of someone. So the beloved disciple, who is never named and never identified,
Funny that.
talks to someone
Yeah.
who talks to someone who writes it down.
So like again, like the diluted of truth, like or what's real or what actually happened.
Yeah, I could talk all day about Jesus and the Gospel of John.
You know what? We have plenty of time, Kenzie. Let's.
No, we are not talking about the Gospel of John right now. Basically, Jesus ain't real.
And Jesus wouldn't be white.
Jesus would not be white. Jesus would be black.
We'll happily have that conversation
Oh,
right now.
yeah.
God damn.
No, I always say this to people. I'm like, I don't doubt that there was a man named Jesus, because it
Yes.
wouldn't be Jesus.
Yes.
And I'm sure he did miraculous healing things. I'm
Yeah.
not sure he brought people back from the dead, but I'm sure he did things. And I'm sure that maybe one day he like fed a lot of people somehow.
Yeah.
And and just through Chinese whispers.
Yeah, and like just like over dramaticness of people retelling and all that type
Yeah.
of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, and let's not talk about the zeitgeist of the world, in that every single religion has like a prophet born unto a virgin, but
Yeah, like not ready for that conversation.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Everything. Yeah, it's like what's original these
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
No, well, I love the Greek gods. They got me.
The Greek
Yeah,
gods.
the Greek gods.
Oh, the Greek gods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, as I said in our Song of Achilles potty, and if you have read it and have not listened to our podcast, please go listen to the episode. Yeah, I wish I had more of a Greek mythology phase.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more.
Yeah, same.
I mean, there's always time to kind of just on my own, in my own time, go out and suss it, but like I can't be bothered. Maybe we'll have to have an excuse to read Percy Jackson on the potty. Isn't there a more extreme like adult version from the same author? Or
He's
no?
making another one, but he said it's not going to be like, it's Percy in like college age,
Oh,
but
okay.
like it's not going to be like
Greek
smutty.
body. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. I just want to know more about Greek gods and shit. You know. I remember in high school we had like I think it was like year 8 or something, like humanities class. It was like ancient Egypt, but it was just like dinky little stuff.
Oh yeah, I think we did like a very small unit on like ancient Egypt and stuff. But
Yeah. But no, classical lit, eh? And yeah, we never had a classic lit class. I think maybe years before us, once upon a time they did, but then it got to our year level and we get nothing. I think someone tried to like fight for a class,
Yes.
or at least the classic lit
Because
club?
I know, a lot of schools, they do lit or English.
Yeah.
They don't do both, but my school, you did both. So I did English and then English lit.
Must have been nice.
It was nice. And then, because at Joey's, I'm pretty sure, you either do lit or English.
Okay.
You can't do both.
Yeah.
But then I think because in year 12 you have to do English.
Yeah.
They must have done something else.
So what books did you study in high school? Because I feel like in comparison, those are the closest things to our like classic lit
If
without
I can
actually being classic lit.
remember, I did so many because I did lit and English all the way through year 10,
Oh
11,
yeah, that's
12.
right. You would have read so many books.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and then so it's like books, movies, plays.
Oh yeah, for sure. Got the whole conglomerate.
Yeah, I did Night, which was like,
Eli Wiesel.
yep.
Yes, we did that
Yeah.
in like year 11 though. But yeah.
I did it in year 10.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Holocaust stuff.
Yeah.
History.
Jasper Jones, which is Australian, Dressmaker, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, another bunch of short stories that in a book, and I can't remember. What did we do in year 12?
I don't think we did the same. Did
Did we
we?
do the same?
No, different schools.
Different schools.
Religious school,
Public and
public
private.
school.
Oh, we did Mabo.
Ooh, I don't know what that is. Okay.
Sorry, Indigenous Australian.
Yeah, for us in year 12, yeah, we did like The Quiet American
Yeah.
by Neil Gaiman.
I know Joey did the Kite Runner.
Neil Green. Oh, Kite Runner.
Yeah.
Okay. And we did, Cloud Street. Mm-hmm. I think
I know someone did Animal Farm.
Ooh, yeah. That sounds familiar, but
Yeah.
it wasn't us.
Yeah, which is not about a farm.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. It's not about cute little
Yeah.
animals. We read Stasiland by Anna Funder, I think, as
yeah.
well. I really like that book. It's about World War Two. No, not World War Two. Sorry, the fall of the Berlin Wall in
Oh,
East
yeah.
and West Germany, and people. It was interviews with people from different aspects of life. So there was like a Nazi soldier,
Oh, fun.
a general or something, and like people.
Oh, we
who
did
would-
Of Mice and Men.
Oh, we did of Mice and
Yeah.
Men too. Classic
Yeah.
lit.
Classic lit. Sad. Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, we watched the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what else?
Yeah, that traumatized me.
Really? Just because of like the contents
Yeah.
of the.
Yeah. We did a lot of books that surrounded sexual assault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's oddly weird.
Yeah.
And like it was never really relevant in any of the topic because again, like we get topics for the year and like you read books surrounding
Yeah.
a particular topic, so it would be like justice, conflict, war, that type
Yeah,
of thing.
and it was never like,
But then there's always underlying sexual assault kind of plot lines in these books and stuff. We watched Paradise Road for one. I really love that movie.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about
We
World War
did-
II nurses.
this is not a book, it's a play, sorry. In drama, we did Rhinoceros, which is also a movie, but it's like about these people, and it must be a metaphor for something, and I'm sure it went over all of our heads because we're in year 10, but it's like these people in a town, and they all get sick, and they turn into rhinoceroses.
Okay, that's very weird.
Yeah.
So it must be some sort of like small metaphor. under
Yeah.
it. So like, what's
I
was,
don't
was
know.
there a
the-
conclusion?
No,
or-
they just turn into rhinoceros.
That's it.
Yeah.
Was it like a story of fighting sickness until they eventually turned, or like?
It's just one day randomly, like this person was
Could be
turning, and
just
then your neighbor started turning, and then
Were they like rhinoceros? Like I'm thinking in like a zombie apocalypse type of manner. Like
Yeah.
would they like attack you, or is it just like I'm a rhinoceros right now? I'm
yeah,
gonna
they
live
just
my
run
life.
down the street.
It
You
just-
turn, and then we changed it. We adapted it
Ooh.
into an asylum,
Okay.
and we were like patients and doctors. But I think that also went over people's heads.
Oh, okay.
We didn't really explain it that well.
No.
Yeah,
Wow, Jesus. Maybe it's just the metaphor is. Like
yeah. Oh, we
something-
did Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, you've told me about that.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I don't really quite remember what else in terms of books, but yeah, Night we did as well. It's very sad. Very short book. Like, it's funny, looking at it now, it's a very thin book. And
It's
like,
so, and it took me ages to read.
yeah, because over the 6-week summer holidays, like,
Yeah.
you would be expected to read this book, and no
Yeah.
one would read it, and I look at it now, I'm like, I could have smashed you out in, like,
well,
4 hours.
Over the summer holidays, I was expected to read the 4 English and then the 4 lit, and then the
Jesus.
2 English movies and the 2 lit movies.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But also, I'll throw myself under the bus here. If I didn't like it, I read the Spark Notes.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair
And
enough.
I did very well off the Spark Notes.
And the teachers would, like, hate you
Do
for
you
it.
remember also, I never used it because I was always too afraid, but there used to be this website, and you could put in your topic, and
Right.
you could put in like say like A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas, and like break it down, and then you could say like, I want to write an essay about like foreshadowing in it or whatever.
okay, yeah.
And all you had to do was like type,
Yeah.
like just anything, and each finger stroke was a word, and it would just like write an essay for you.
Oh wow, Jesus! I never knew about that. God damn, maybe that's just a private school thing, private school hack.
No, I think it was just like a general like Tumblr thing that
Oh, a
people knew
Tumblr
about.
thing.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
never used it because I'm like, there's someone will get caught. Like
The whole plagiarism.
the whole
thing.
plagiarism.
Yeah.
But then I was always, because we used to, because we're very old, we used to handwrite our essays.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how can you cross-reference every single essay against like every single? Because we
Yeah,
had like
for sure.
250 kids in our year level. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. God damn.
Yeah, and they're all handwritten.
Yeah. I look back now at like, you know, our 3-hour English exam, and you had to write 3 essays,
Yeah.
and 2 on your topics and 1 on like an analysis.
We
piece.
had a creative one.
No, we had. I think it was like a choice between like creative and like a data
yeah.
analysis
Yeah.
type thing, and like we always went with like analysis
Oh, yeah.
because they were always easy to punch out. But like 3 essays that are like 3-4 pages each in 3 hours, like I'd smash that out.
Yeah.
And now I can
Yeah.
hardly write a page without my fingers
Yeah,
getting
I had
sore.
a friend in the year 12 English exam, which is, dare I say, one of the most important exams.
Oh, this year.
No.
Oh, back then.
Back then.
Yeah. Sorry.
And because, you know, you sit in like the big long rooms and they're all separated.
Yes,
So we
so
had like,
intimidating.
I don't know how your school was laid out, but we had like classrooms. It would be like 1, 2, 3, 4 behind, and they had like divider walls. So for the
Oh.
exams, they would just open the walls, and so you
Okay.
just have a long hallway.
Right.
And then so at the top of each classroom was like a clock.
Yeah.
But like whiteboard would be on
Yeah.
the front wall, and then the next classroom would be backwards, so it'd be on the back wall. So
okay,
there was like
yeah.
clock, like the
It was
clocks all
set
over the
out
place. Yeah.
same, yeah.
Anyway, so my friend, she needs glasses, and she forgot her glasses, so she was doing an English exam or whatever, and she's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go to the toilet. And then so, you know, you have to go to the toilet with the person. And then the person was like, oh, like, you're almost done, like, so good. And she's like, oh, how much time is left? And she's like, oh, you've got half an hour left. And she was halfway through her first essay.
Oh no. Oh, that's
because she
my
couldn't see
nightmare.
the clock.
Oh no.
Because she was blind.
She was like, oh no. Would you not have some sort of awareness, being like, I've been on this for a bit too long?
I know, like, surely, like, I was like, okay, yeah, what is it? It's like 3 hours, 3 essays. And it's like,
an essay an hour, or
yeah, exactly.
depending.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, for us, we would smash out the
Yeah, or I'd be like,
article.
I'd write 4 pages on each. And
Yeah.
yeah.
For how we did it, is like, I think everyone had the same kind of strategy because it was the easiest. We had like an article analysis
Yeah.
piece that we have to write about. So you smash 3 pages, that done, and
Yeah.
then you spend the next like 2.5 hours on your essays.
Yeah.
Yeah, god damn. Now, we had our English exam, because we're right next to a football club, as you're probably aware of. And so we used that whole space, like it was just lined with like tables and chairs, and we just had, clocks everywhere as well, but not really like separated.
Yeah.
Just we all just shared the one space. Be a single table next to each other.
Yeah.
And we just kind of wrote.
And it was annoying because the English exam was the only one you couldn't leave.
I think so, I don't know.
Yeah, because all the other ones, you just couldn't leave.
Oh, until everyone else was done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
think
other
so.
ones, you just couldn't leave, like, within the first 10 minutes or the last 30
maybe even
minutes or
half
something.
hour or something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or, yeah, maybe it's, like, the first half hour and the last 10 minutes, but if you finish within that time, you can leave.
Yeah, you just have to wait for the procedure and everything.
Yeah.
It was very, very serious stuff, like how,
Yeah.
heaven forbid, you stand up
Yeah.
as they're collecting your paper.
I know.
But yeah, god damn. Yeah, now that I think about that, I used to handwrite. Like, how do you check for plagiarism?
Yeah.
Like, you could have memorized the whole essay.
Yeah.
And just like.
And also
fill it out.
because we used to wear casual clothes,
Yeah.
and I was always wondering, because, like, there was, like, oh, like, put your phone, like, away or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have your phone, you'll get caught for cheating. And I was like, I had my phone in my bra.
Yeah.
Like, and then you go to the toilet, you're in a cubicle, like,
You just go,
yeah, exactly.
Oof. Never really thought about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was never needed to be sneaky. Like, I just hoped that there was a topic that like I was familiar
Yeah,
with.
I never did it, but I'm just like, how would they know if someone's gone to the toilet
Yeah.
and like just looked on their phone?
Yeah. Maybe that's why the person, like in your case, kind of goes with you. So like, oh, bless.
Yeah, but
the
once
phone
you're
could
in
be on
the
silent,
once you're in the cubicle,
couldn't hear any typing or anything.
yeah,
But yeah,
you'd be like, I'm taking a shit.
taking a deuce.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh goddamn. Oh, reminiscing.
yeah, come on.
But get me to write an essay now. I will not do that for you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, in this
I-
essay, I will.
Yeah, I will only verbally joke in this essay. I will. Classic lit, eh?
Classic lit.
Classic
Woohoo.
reading is sexy. Ultimately, well, if you lasted this long of us babbling, I guess thank you, because I don't know, it's been quite cathartic. I
Yeah,
don't
thanks
know.
for listening.
It was a fun little rant. 'Cause
In all, reading is sexy, learning is sexy, lit is sexy.
do whatever the fuck you want. Don't
Yeah.
listen to other people.
Don't listen to other people telling you that just because you don't read a certain book
Doesn't mean.
doesn't mean you're smart. Or,
And also,
yeah.
I think they get some sort of like, I don't know, they feel like they have a high sense of intellectual superiority as well.
Yeah, I think someone did it really well explaining when they're like, oh, it looks like someone's done their first like English 101 class or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, yeah, because I felt like that too after I did my first university like English
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, I'm better than everyone. And now I'm
Yeah.
like, well, really I'm not.
No,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
no,
paying
no.
all this money.
Yeah. And yeah, read whatever you want. If the like 60-page smart books is what gets you going, what makes you feel like intellectually stimulated as well as stimulated in other ways, like go for it. Like, who cares? Yeah, and again, I always thought that those types of books are used for like narrative analysis. Like,
Yeah.
it's not really because the plot is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's like, haha, look at what they used to do in this time.
Yeah, and look at the type of language.
Yeah.
Although I do quite like a bit of like the
I do
ye-old
miss the language. Mr. Darcy's,
more Bridgerton language.
oh
like
yeah,
now,
yeah, the
like,
period, like
period
Regency.
language. Yeah, because it's just so sophisticated and
Yeah.
profound. It's like, oh, I wish we never
Yeah.
diluted our language
When
into what we
Mr.
do
Darcy
now.
says, like, you have bewitched my mind, like, my whole mind, like, body and soul or whatever.
It's like, oh, I feel that.
I feel that, Mr. Darcy.
I suppose that's it, because
Yeah.
we really dragged it out, because
Yeah,
I
no,
thought it was going to be a lot longer, but it took 15 minutes.
Sorry, we got very distracted. It is also a bonus ep.
It is a bonus.
We got very
episode.
distracted, but we
yeah,
had, like,
no, it's
we
all good.
had
I'm
some
trying to
things.
like up it up a little bit, because like I don't know. I want at least more than 15
Yeah,
minutes.
it's like, get to know us, though.
Exactly. Hear our thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks for listening. You want this out this week at some point?
Yeah.
And if you've listened along and you're following us along with our House of Night journey, Burned will be out
Yep.
this week as well. So
Yep.
have a listen to that. If not, listen to any other podcasts that may intrigue you, because we have a few episodes on a few different types of books, which you might have read and have not listened to. So please do that.
We love you all. Thank you
Yeah,
for
thank
supporting
you.
us. Please
We'll
continue
save-
to support us.
We'll save it for the New Year's Eve wrap.
Right.
That's okay. Nah, I just like being out there and people listening. Like,
Yeah.
you know, social engagement can always go up, but like,
Yeah.
I like where we're at. We're
Yeah.
doing so well, I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah.
You know, we've stuck at it for a few months now, and like
Nearly a year.
nearly a year. God damn.
Yeah.
No point stopping now.
No point.
Alrighty.
This is my life now.
this is it.
This is who I am, Mum. It's not a phase.
Yeah, no. It's a lifestyle. It's a career. More than a hobby.
Yes.
Ultimately, thanks for listening. Check out our link tree. You can find us at all
Yes.
the places.
Link in the bio.
Link in the bio, because Kenzie feels like an influencer when she says it.
I am an influencer.
But yeah, check us out. Leave a comment or two if you want. We don't
Nice
really
ones,
care.
please.
Nice ones. Well, I'm free to open up the discourse. I'm not going to double down. I'm going to stand by what I said,
Yeah.
even though I didn't say as much compared
Yeah.
to like Kenzie. But
That's okay. I think we'll have some discourse for
I think we can all agree that reading is sexy.
Yes.
Read away.
Reading is sexy. Reading is hot. Tell me if you're reading because I'll be attracted to you.
Just like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.